Donald Trump reportedly earned more than $2 billion in a single year. During that same period, a new congressional report claims American families lost $219 billion to rising costs. Those numbers are enormous. They are also political. So tonight, we are not accepting anyone's headline without examining the evidence. Where did Trump's money reportedly come from? How was the loss to American families calculated? And what does any of this mean for your wallet? I may have lost my sight, but I see money more clearly than most. My name is Silas Blackwood, and this is Hidden Money Files. We will separate reported income from business revenue, wealth from cash, and political argument from independently measured economic data. On August 13, 2026, Democratic staff of the United States Congress Joint Economic Committee released a report with a striking headline, "President Trump Pockets $2.2 billion, while American families lost $219 billion in 2025. That attribution matters. This was a report from the committee's Democratic staff. It was not presented as a neutral finding jointly agreed upon by both political parties, and its strongest causal claims require separate testing. Part 1. What does Trump made $2.2 billion actually mean? The phrase sounds like a cash paycheck. But financial documents can combine many different things, and those things are not interchangeable. The report says its estimate draws on the president's annual financial disclosure and related business information. Categories may include reported income, business activity, licensing, digital assets, investments, and changes in property value. Here is the first safeguard. Gross revenue earned by a hotel or company is not automatically the president's personal profit. A rise in the market value of a building is not the same as money deposited into a bank account. The report highlights cryptocurrency-related income, including a memecoin venture. But the precise meaning depends on the records. Token sales, fees, ownership interests, realized gains, and paper valuations are different measurements. The report also discusses property activity, licensing, political and official events, foreign transactions, and investments. Each item deserves the same question. Is this documented personal income, company revenue, a realized gain, or an estimate of value? Financial disclosures are important, but they are not a complete real-time income statement. They use reporting rules, ranges, ownership structures, and filing dates. A careful documentary should never turn a reported range or valuation into false precision. Part 2. Where did the $219 billion number come from? The committee describes a nationwide estimate of additional household costs and lost purchasing power during 2025. A national total divided across millions of households does not mean every family personally lost the same amount. Spending patterns differ. Renters and homeowners face different costs. Drivers, commuters, parents, retirees, and patients do not experience inflation in the same way. The report discusses groceries, energy, housing, transportation, insurance, health care, tariffs, and other everyday expenses. Each contribution must be traced to the report's method rather than inferred from the headline. Remember the basic inflation distinction. Slowing inflation does not mean prices have fallen. It usually means prices are still rising, but more slowly than before. A family can feel poorer even when the inflation rate is moderating. Part 3. What does the Trump administration say? Its strongest case is that lower prices can follow expanded American energy, fewer regulations, stronger domestic industries, more investment, and policies aimed at long-term prosperity. Those are political and policy claims, not automatically verified outcomes. The test is what happened to prices, wages, investment, production, and household purchasing power in the data, and over what period. Part 4. What do independent numbers show? Start with the Bureau of Labor Statistics for prices and wages, USDA for food, the Federal Reserve for household well-being, Treasury, and official disclosures for financial records, and original committee documents for the committee's own estimate. Food prices are not one story. USDA material shows that categories can move differently. Eggs can surge, while some produce or fats and oils move modestly or decline. A grocery bill is an index of many items, not one national experience. That is why an average can inform us without describing every kitchen. Household budgets are shaped by what people buy, where they live, whether they can substitute, and whether wages are keeping pace with the prices that matter most. The same caution applies to gasoline, utilities, rent, mortgages, insurance, and healthcare. Some prices can ease while others remain elevated. Evidence should be shown category by category, with the source and date beside each statistic. Both political sides can leave something out. One side may emphasize a dramatic total without explaining the calculation. The other may emphasize future prosperity without showing what families paid this month. The bridge between those arguments is purchasing power. It asks what a paycheck can actually buy after prices, taxes, interest, and essential bills, not merely whether income rose in dollar terms. Causation is another line the viewer should watch. A price can rise after a policy without rising only because of that policy. Supply shocks, global events, market power, weather, demand, and earlier decisions can overlap. That does not make the report worthless. It means the report is one piece of evidence, and a responsible conclusion should preserve its limits. When the original record is unavailable, the honest label is uncertain. So the method is simple enough to remember. Define the number, identify the source, check the date, inspect the method, ask who is included, and separate what is known from what is inferred. What can we say with confidence? The report's two headline numbers are estimates built from different concepts. One concerns a calculation of financial gains. The other attempts to aggregate higher costs across households. They are not direct opposites. We cannot claim that Trump personally caused every dollar of higher costs. We cannot claim that every dollar in the $2.2 billion figure was personal cash profit. And we should not repeat an uncertain figure as settled fact. For ordinary people, the question is practical. After groceries, rent, mortgages, insurance, gasoline, healthcare, debt payments, and taxes, is take-home income buying more or less? That is the purchasing power question beneath every political argument. Here is what the file shows. The $2.2 billion figure and the $219 billion figure did not come from thin air, but neither number should be repeated without its context. One describes an estimate of Trump's financial gains. The other attempts to measure higher costs across an entire nation. They are not direct opposites, and they do not prove that one man personally took money from every American family. But they expose a question that Washington cannot ignore. Why can wealth grow so rapidly at the top while millions of working people still feel poorer? That question belongs to Republicans, Democrats, and every institution that profits while families struggle. The file is open. The evidence is yours. Follow the money. Find the truth. Subscribe to Hidden Money Files.